All right. Yes, we have got a bit of a surprise here. So, if you know your San Antonio movie history, you may know this quote here. There's no basement at the Alamo.
And it's from the Pee-wee's Big Adventure, but today, more of Ernie's Big Adventure. He's live right now at the Alamo right now. Ernie, the movie has ties to our city, and again, there's something special happening with it, correct? Ernie.
And again, I'm much larger than the late, great Paul Rubens here, but we're having a good time this morning at the Alamo. And if you're my age or old enough to remember Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which came out 40 years ago tomorrow, August 9th, 1985. And so we're having all the feels here, and it's just taking me back to my youth here, because this is the Pee-wee's Big Adventure stunt bicycle that is now on display at the Alamo. And it will be here for a little while, and then it will move around as, of course, construction continues here on the Alamo grounds. But I want to bring in Kelly Lanham, who's a senior historian and a researcher, and you quite literally put some sweat equity into this thing. And on behalf of Pee-wee fans everywhere, I thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It was our pleasure. It was a really fun exhibit to put together. It's one of those things where in our world, we do a lot of guns, swords, and things of that nature. This is very out of our wheelhouse, but I think it's going to bring a lot of really cool people to the Alamo.
I wonder if you ever, in the course of all of this, got any pushback from Alamo loyalists and historians who say, wait a minute, okay, you've got like Davy Crockett memorabilia, you have Santa Ana stuff here, and then you have Pee-wee Herman's bike.
Yeah, I think the big thing to remember is that people come to the Alamo for all kinds of reasons, and what may bring you here may be different from someone else. And so people who are brought here by a love of Fess Parker and John Wayne, some people are brought here for the love of Pee-wee Herman.
We've talked about Phil Collins too, I mean, which he's a Alamo mega fan and has a lot of the collection here too.
Yeah, so if it wasn't for Hollywood, people like Phil Collins would have never come to the Alamo and fell in love with our story. You know, the story of human sacrifice and the battle that takes place here, that also transcends into Hollywood, and it brings people to fall in love with our story.
I was touched. I know Pee-wee Herman obviously passed away not too long ago, and you guys have embraced the mythology. I mean, this movie is 40 years old, and you guys, whenever that was, decided to embrace this and go all in on it, now to have the bike and everything. But, I mean, all the years, all the people that come by and ask about there being a basement in the Alamo and all those kinds of things, you guys have kept a pretty good sense of humor about it.
Yeah, I think that's the point. You know, you want to make sure that the younger generations continue to come to the Alamo. This is one way we're going to foster that next generation of people to continue to come and visit.
What can you tell us about just acquiring this? How difficult it was, the process, and literally setting it up like this and trying to keep it true to the authentic bike from the movie?
Yeah, so it was purchased at auction. So it was not very difficult to procure the item, but we wanted to make sure we got something that was authentic. It was screen use. It's the only one that we're aware of that exists that was used in the movie. There were 14 of them made. And this is the one that he does the Tarzan swing on in the movie. So if you remember that part, yeah, so exactly.
Yes.
So you can see that in the frame when people come to visit. This is going to be in the Ralston Collection Center behind the Alamo Church, so not in the Alamo building. Come back here and check it out, and you'll be able to see some of the stuff from the movie. The scratches, dings, and dents are all legitimate, and they're real from Hollywood.
And the tiger horn works.
It does. That tiger siren right there?
The tiger siren,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah, that thing does work. It makes noises, but please don't touch it.
I know, even I have resisted the temptation to touch it, but you bring up a very good point, because again, we have to remember what happened here and the sacredness of the shrine, and to be very clear, the bike is not going inside the shrine itself.
That's exactly right. You know, first and foremost, the sacrifice of the men who happen here, the battle is the key. But if I can get people to come down here who are in love with Pee-wee Herman, maybe they stop over and they learn the story of William P. King or one of the other Alamo defenders. That's important to us, and so they'll leave with a better understanding of the Alamo story.
All right, we should mention, we're getting a little sneak peek here this morning, but later on this evening there's an event happening here for members, and there is still an opportunity for people who are watching this to take part in that before it opens up to the public tomorrow.
I'd highly encourage you to do that. If you want to come down, you can go onto the alamo.org and you can become a member for a very small sum. That gets you into the Alamo, and plus one, you can come down and see the bike, but you can also come visit us throughout the year.
Yeah. In the whole process of putting this all together, and I love the personal touches, by the way. People will remember the hitchhiking sign from the movie and everything, and you've really spared no expense, or you've added some little personal touches. Do you have a favorite anecdote or story or part of the bike just in putting this all together and helping to tell this story?
I think my favorite part is making it pop a wheelie. I think we were trying to determine how the bike was going to sit, and we kind of thought maybe letting it sit flat would look neat. And then we're like, you know what? Let's make it neat, because in the movie, you know, he rides with his feet.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then he does pop a wheelie at one point, you know. So that's kind of what we went with. That was my favorite part.
Well, I mean, just in the time that we've been here, you've talked about like kind of shifting the front wheel over, and just you're trying to get it just the perfect look for when people come to see this.
That's it. We want people to come in and immediately tie it into the movie, and that nostalgia come right back from when you were a young kid watching it.
Yeah, that's fantastic stuff. Like I said, I mean, I could go on and on and on and on and on. But we will come back in just a little while and have more about this. More on when you can come out and see this here. A little bit of the historical perspective. Again, tomorrow is the 40th anniversary. Tim Burton's first film, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. This is his, kind of breakaway film, and
Yeah.
gets his foot in the door in Hollywood.
And he's done pretty well as a film director, to be sure. So we'll step aside for a little while, but much more to come from the Alamo. And again, just to confirm, there is still no basement at the Alamo. Back to you guys.